it's a very interesting school, and it's not like any other school that I've been to. Um, the class sizes are small. We There's individualized support and tutoring. There's a lot of small group support, which is something that is not found in the mainstream school system.
Hey, it's Tir from Our Kids. I recently spoke to Mikhaila, who graduated from Kenneth Gordon Maplewood School in 2017, and she's currently pursuing elementary education at Simon Frasier University. Kenneth Gordon instilled in her the confidence that she needed to pursue post-secondary education. It was her experience there at Kenneth Gordon which inspired her to become a teacher. As her ability in the classroom developed, she gained confidence gradually. Check out her inspiring story. So, could you start by giving us a summary of what you've been up to since graduating from Kenneth Gordon School?
Yeah. So, since going to Kenneth Gordon, this has now been 4 years at SFU in elementary education, and I really like it so far. Um, yeah, and I've been traveling lots and learning a lot about teaching at school. So, yeah, I really like it. And it's something that I didn't think um, would happen before coming to Kenneth Gordon. Um, I think there was a lot of challenges that I had in previous schools, and that kind of impacted how I felt about going to university. So I didn't think that I was going to get in, and then I ended up getting into all three schools I applied to, which is um, quite was like a nice surprise for me. So yeah.
For sure. And how long were you at Kenneth Gordon for?
I was at Kenneth Gordon from grade 7 to um, grade 12, but I kind of took a little bit of a break in grade 9, and then I ended up having to come back because the mainstream school that I transitioned to in grade 9 just wasn't working out for me. So it was time to come back. Yeah.
Okay. So, if you can think back to your experience at KGMS, what would your resume listing your accomplishments and experiences briefly look like?
Yeah. So um, let's see. At um, KGMS, I was pretty involved at the school. I did a lot of student council stuff, um, and I got to do things that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do at another school or didn't hear about. I got to do a program where I went to Ottawa for a week and met a bunch of other people from across Canada. So that was very cool. Um, but I also was given a lot of opportunities to um, learn how to and figure out if I wanted to be a teacher. And so a lot of the teachers kind of gave me the chance to, um, help out different classes and figure things out. So I was helping out with the grade 8 home ec class for a while, and I was helping with grade 10 English for a while. So yeah, I got lots of different opportunities like that I wouldn't have gotten in a mainstream school.
Okay, awesome. And how do you think KGMS impacted your decision to pursue the path of becoming a teacher?
Oh, going to KGMS definitely played a huge role in me wanting to become a teacher. I think my experience there kind of showed me that I can use my lived experience to help other people who have gone through similar things to I have. And so that was a big thing that the teachers there kind of taught me, especially, um, there were a lot of times where like they believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And um, the one big thing that they teach there is perseverance, and that's something that's very hard to teach, but it's something that they do a very good job at instilling in the kids.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And before you enrolled at Kenneth Gordon, how and why did your family decide on you attending that school?
I wasn't really part of the decision, I would say. Um, I was in the Francophone school system up until grade 6, and um, the school only went up until grade 6, so I had to change schools anyways. So they decided, well, it's not really working out in the mainstream school system. And I had tried doing tutoring um, outside of school just to get a little bit of extra help, but I still needed a little bit more support. So they decided they found Kenneth Gordon through a mutual friend, and they decided that it was the right school for me. And so I found out, um, like while sitting in the old Bay restaurant, and my mom told me that I was going to change schools. Yeah.
Okay. And you spoke about it a bit earlier, but what would you say you most appreciate about having attended Kenneth Gordon?
Oh, okay. So I think I appreciate the most was the teachers and how dedicated they are. Um, they're always going above and beyond to help the students. Um, and even though it's a small school, they try to give us opportunities and give us as many experiences as possible, um, even though it's really small. And sometimes that can feel limiting, even though there are still lots of things that you can do in a small school that you can't do in a larger school. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what do you think differentiates, aside from the fact that um, Kenneth Gordon is a alternative school, what do you think differentiates Kenneth Gordon from other private schools?
Yeah. So I think the main thing is that everybody at Kenneth Gordon has a story, and we've all gone through the same or similar things. And there's this like mutual kind of understanding and respect, um, because, everybody's understands one another. Um, and also, one thing I noticed at Kenneth Gordon is that there are people there from all different walks of life, and um, all different home lives. And if it, a lot of the students, if it wasn't for the donors, they wouldn't actually be there. And so those kids that um, do have scholarships and bursaries are often extremely grateful for um, those donations and that support from the public and other parents. Yeah.
Mhm. And I got a bit of a tough question.
Okay.
If the school were to be personified, if it was a person that we could get to know, how would you describe it in 3 words?
Oh, okay. I need to think about that. Unique, supportive, and maybe inspiring.
Okay. So unique, supportive, and inspiring. Can
Yeah.
you elaborate on those three?
So unique because it's a very interesting school, and it's not like any other school that I've been to. Um, the class sizes are small. We There's individualized support and tutoring. There's a lot of small group support, which is something that is not found in the mainstream school system. And then inspiring. The teachers are very um, inspiring, and they definitely inspired me, and I'm sure they've inspired other students. And then for sure supportive. Um, they just go above and beyond.
Mhm.
Whenever there's an issue or a student is struggling, they're coming up with a plan right away to figure out how they can best support that student.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And every school subscribes to a certain set of values. What do you think Kenneth Gordon's highest values that you saw in actual practice?
I would definitely say respect is a huge one. Um, because everybody's gone through either um, bad experiences academically, but also a lot of the kids at Kenneth Gordon dealt with really horrible bullying as well. And so there's definitely a high level of respect for the students and the staff at the school. um, yeah.
Okay, great. And to an outsider, say for prospective students or families, what do you think they would find most surprising about KGMS?
Oh, I would say that the most surprising thing about KGMS is how quickly um, their kid will slowly build up confidence in themselves. Um, I know for me, like it happened within like the first month. I was already starting to feel better about myself um, academically, and it almost clicked right away that it was the right place for me. Um, yeah, I would definitely say like it's very um, just a special environment, and there's a lot of good things that happen there, and some big like aha moments um, that happen on a regular basis. Yeah.
Mhm. And how would you describe the typical Kenneth Gordon student?
Oh. Well, the typical Kenneth Gordon student has definitely gone through a lot, um, but many of them are really, really working super hard to get to achieve their goals. And so many of them have huge ambitions, and they want to succeed. And I think Kenneth Gordon shows them that they can.
Okay.
Mm.
And you've touched upon this many times so far, but how do you say Kenneth Gordon shaped you as a person today?
Okay. So um, as soon as I walked through the doors at Kenneth Gordon, um, I was greeted with a big smile on um, the secretary's face, which was very nice and welcoming. Um, and I definitely, within that first year that I was there in grade seven, I became a much more confident version of myself. And my teachers could see it, and my parents could see it in particular because they had seen um, the me before coming to Kenneth Gordon, and that was a completely different person. And I started to get more involved in the school, and I was making lots of friends, and I was doing really well academically. So I definitely became more confident and much happier.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And you and I both know that no school is perfect.
Yeah.
So if there is something that you could change about Kenneth Gordon, what would that be? It can be big or small.
Um, I would there's definitely nothing I would change as far as how it's being run. I think the teachers are doing an excellent job. The only thing I would say is I wish that there were more students there sometimes because I think there are a lot of students struggling in the public school system that wish they could have the opportunity to go to Kenneth Gordon. So yeah, I would say I hope that eventually we can get a larger student population.
Okay, awesome. And now that you are a few years removed from the school, how would you say your perspective on Kenneth Gordon has evolved over time?
Yeah, so I think I've definitely become a lot more appreciative of my experience at Kenneth Gordon. Um, Especially talking to classmates and hearing their experiences in school. Um, I was definitely very lucky to have the opportunity to get the education that I did. So I think now it's kind of become this just really special time in my life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And would you recommend the school to prospective students? And if you do, what would your three biggest reasons be why?
Okay. I would definitely recommend this to the KGMS to any student that's having a really hard time and just needs a little boost of support. Um, I would say, Kenneth Gordon gives you lots of opportunities to get involved. Um, there's lots of support, so you'll definitely feel um, like there's always someone to talk to, there's always someone that will help you with a subject that you're struggling with, and um, everybody there is super nice, and so you'll be able to make friends with people that understand you. Yeah.
Mhm. And what would you say to a family that's considering sending their child to KGMS and they're on the fence about it?
I would say send them to Kenneth Gordon because um, it will become one of the best school experiences they will ever have. And it's going to shape how they become or how they grow as a learner, um, and who they become in the future. Because before Kenneth Gordon, I never would have thought that I was going to decide to study education. It was something that kind of blossomed out of going to Kenneth Gordon. So I would say, you know, Kenneth Gordon will really be able to help them figure out who they are and um, overcome all of those challenges that they may be facing.
And lastly, what would be your one piece of advice to a student that's just about to enter Kenneth Gordon?
Um, I would say um, ask your teachers for lots of help. They want to help you. Um, get involved in the school, even though it's small. There's so many opportunities to join clubs and do student council and um, do different sports and stuff. So, yeah, definitely, you know, explore those opportunities.